What's up, Virgos? Welcome to my channel, The Intuitive Teacup. I'm so happy to have all my Virgo friends here with me today. We are going to do a fun little tarot spread for you, all on the subject of love today. Do keep in mind these are general messages, so that means that not everything I say is going to resonate with all the Virgos out there, and that's totally fine. That's totally normal. I hope lots of this resonates with you. More likely than not, pieces and parts of it will. I definitely encourage you to check the videos associated with your sun, moon, rising, and particularly your Venus sign. That's going to provide you with additional messages and more clarity because these are general, right? Anyway, what else do you need to know? I encourage you to come into this with an open heart and an open mind. If anything doesn't seem to resonate or fit your story, you don't need to force it to fit. You can simply release it and move on. Everything else you want to know will be in that description box below, including the decks I am using, as well as my social media channels. So go ahead and check those out if you're interested. I'm the Intuitive Teacup on Facebook and Instagram. Other than that, we're going to hop in for my Virgo friends in love. If you don't currently have someone, that's fine. This could be about an ex, a past lover. This could be about someone coming in. We'll see what we got. All right? We're going to use this as our clarifying deck as needed. I'm just shuffling it here, and we're going to hop in. So I'm reading this as past, present, and future, but again, only take away what resonates. If it doesn't fit your timeline, you can swap it around. You can swap the characters around. You do you, Virgo. That's what I'm saying. All right. First card in your past, you have the Hangman, Piscean energy. Delay or waiting, but almost feeling trapped. Like I think a lot of you Virgos are waiting for major transformation or waiting for something even to arrive is what I just heard. You may be waiting for some sort of message or communication or decision, and it's something about like your fate or your destiny or your ability to move, to transition, to whatever it is, rests with someone else. So I'm getting frustration like, I just heard, you're killing me, Smalls. Like I think you're getting impatient because you want this person, whoever you're waiting on, to reach out to you, and I'm just getting the change rests in their hand. Like you've done everything you can. It is what it is. But yeah, it's like you feel like they've forgotten about you or you've been left out in the dark. Like you're just waiting and waiting with that Hangman mode. But we have to remember that comes right before death, which is transformation, as we all know, which is a card of major change, of transformation. So I think it's coming, but yeah, it's been delayed, at least in your past. So then you have this Ten of Wands. So I was going to say it's a burden on you that you're waiting, but I actually think this represents your person. I think that your person literally has their hands full, and that's why you haven't heard from them, Virgo. They're preoccupied. They have a lot on their plate. They have maybe they're working, right? Maybe they are traveling and can't reach out to you or just don't have the time to communicate. They may, if this is a heavy, important decision, they may not have even had a time to even think about it, and so like they're so engrossed in whatever task they're doing. You might be with a fire sign, specifically a Sagittarius or an Aries or a Leo. But yeah, I don't necessarily know that they've forgotten about you. Well, maybe we'll throw a clarifier. And then you have the Queen of Swords as well. Interesting. I'm almost getting that this is a third character. It could be symbolic of you waiting on their decision, and because it's like her sword is in the ground, it's in the snow, there isn't truth, there isn't clarity, there isn't justice. It's not like her sword is pointed to the heavens, right? Where we think about channeling messages, spirituality, clarity, insight, truth. Like we want the sword faced up generally, right? So this could be the idea of like not hearing from them, not receiving or giving communication. So this could be a lot of people. I just heard the term snuffing out the fire. The way her sword is sticking in the ground, it's like when, sorry Virgo, my camera froze. So I was saying the way her sword is in the ground, it's almost like when you put out the butt of a cigarette and kind of do that with it. That's almost what I'm getting. So if this is symbolic of you, Virgo, if you have a lot of air in your chart, particularly Libra or Gemini or Aquarius, you may be choosing to drop this fire sign. If, you know, symbolically fire, it's like you're snuffing out the crisp or the fiery end of a cigarette, for lack of a better term. You might be ready to cut this person off or ice them out, but ironically, that's what it feels like they've done to you too, the Ice Queen. And just the idea of waiting, like I'm getting major earth energy here, like Mother Nature, Mother Earth, the idea of pentacles, seeds to trees. It's a long time waiting. For some of you, this is your mother. I don't know why that just came through, but what is this Queen of Swords about? Your person may be involved. I haven't seen the clarifier yet. Your person you're waiting on may be doing work for their mother. Maybe they're helping their mother move. Maybe their mother is not able to, like, I was gonna say function, but like mobility issues. Maybe there's some sort of demand on your person where they're having to lend their time and especially their efforts. I'm just literally getting the depiction of moving heavy shit for someone, moving boxes, like pushing furniture, some sort of task that may have involved travel. I get the impression you two are sort of far apart, if not physical distance, certainly emotional, right? You're not communicating. And I'm just getting that it's almost like slavery. It's like a tyrant being like, I need you to do this, you need to do that, I need this. And so it's like if the sword is upside down symbolically, they're not allowing this person to communicate with you, Virgo. And I don't know if that's their intention, like if there's shady tactics of like, I don't like Virgos, like I don't like my son or my daughter's girlfriend or boyfriend. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they have it like a vendetta against you, Virgo. I don't know if it's that. But I am getting that this queen is very stubborn in her views, in her viewpoints. It doesn't have to be female, but for a lot of you, I do think it is. I'm getting like maternal energy. So clarifying this Queen of Swords is the King of Wands. Yeah, you know what it is, because it's clarifying, so it's like underneath, if you will, that it's your person. This queen has your person wrapped around her finger. And again, fire energy, for a lot of you, you're dating a fire sign or are wanting to be with a fire sign. It may be your husband or your wife, but again, they're tied up with like this third element person. And again, it's not a relationship in the romantic sense for everyone, but it's an outsider. It could be their best friend. For a lot of you, it's mother or grandmother. And I'm just getting that I have to call it like I see it, they are a little bit manipulative. They've got your I want to say your King of Wands wrapped around their little finger, and they know that they're the puppet master. They know they're pulling the strings, and just because the way this card is, I am getting like manipulation, like, oh, but come, I love you, like I need your help, don't leave me, like that kind of like, yeah, emotional manipulation of this fire sign. But they're killing the zest and the passion. This person's exhausted. That's why you haven't heard from them. They don't have time. So that's what's going on in the past. For some of you, it might be a third party. I have to say it because it's out there. We'll see what we get as we move forward. But this is in the past. So, I mean, again, most of you, I think, are probably aware of this person at this point. Hey, all right, so we go from 12 to 13, which is the card of death, which is transformation, what you were waiting for. It's kind of a grim depiction, but we'll see what comes up. So scorpionic energy, the cocoon to the butterfly, right? So that may represent this relationship. If it does, I'm a little bit nervous to see what's coming. Got like Grim Reaper death style. Oh, but you got the lovers. Okay, I like that. You got the lovers in the middle of your spread, more Gemini energy. And then you have judgment. All right. Card number 20. All right, so here's what I'm getting from this. Well, actually, I want to clarify the lovers first. Can we clarify the lovers for Virgo? I almost called you Gemini. You might be dealing with a Gemini. Come on. The lovers, clarified by the lovers. Third party though, right? 3. Okay. Here's what I'm getting. And I'm going to be real with you guys. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but hopefully I don't lose anyone. I think you got your transformation because you got your answer. Something changed because eventually you did hear from this person, or their lack of action, their lack of communication to you or for you or towards you ultimately served you and gave you your answer. So you decided to transform and move on, or it was severed, right? There's a giant sickle here. It's like the relationship, there was a death. There was an ending, right? Is what I'm saying. And I say that too because it's like you're headed off in the other direction, the way it is on my board here. You're not headed towards the Lovers, Virgo. You're headed that way. Lovers is this way. And then because this is falling under your burdened king, your burdened fire king, potentially, it doesn't have to be. They chose a lover. And ultimately the Lover's card, for better or worse, it's a choice. It's not always a romantic relationship. Granted, in a romantic love spread, which is what I'm doing here, I like to see it generally. I gotta be real, I think this person chose someone else, and I think it's their loyalty to this person. Because they had no choice, he or she. I don't mean to assume it's a he, I'm just going by the gender of the card here. Your person had loyalty to this person clearly, but as I was saying, this queen was manipulative. She used shady tactics to keep that person close on like a little string, again, puppet master energy. And because it's being clarified by the Lover's card, but it's with almost this like very, I use this metaphor for someone else. It actually may have been in the Gemini reading. There's this very pure, innocent, almost virginal, like symbolic of a relationship just getting off the ground. It needs room to breathe and develop and grow. And then I just because of the pure depiction of the card, there's kind of like this sleazy, trashy, in her like black leather negligee on the side. And look, it's got his attention, doesn't it? The guy in the middle. I'm just getting, this is symbolic of you, Virgo, the virgin, right? That's you. And it's, again, there's third party energy. There's some sort of temptation or distraction. Again, if it's a mother, I'm not saying there's any weird like Norman Bates shit going on. I'm not saying that. But again, there's a reason why this person couldn't commit to you, and I think that in itself gave you your answer. Whether they came right out and told you, listen, my mother loves me, I can't leave her. Some of you may have heard that. Ultimately, something happened, and again, either it was lack of action or communication where you're just like, peace, I'm done, bye. Or the opposite, you got the message that, hey, I have someone else in my life who needs my attention. You went off and did your own thing. I think the relationship was ended here. And what's falling under, this is where it gets a little bit hopeful for those who are really frustrated right now. What's under this judgmental queen, again, manipulative puppet master energy, is the Judgment card. And what I'm getting here is like a medicine dropper. This woman has like her hand, right? And she's dropping little bits of, I'm just getting like false beliefs, false information. This is actually sort of similar to Pisces reading. The idea of an older, maybe more traditional or non-progressive grandmother, mother, and it doesn't have to be female, it doesn't have to be, but an older generation spoon feeding you ideas that just aren't in alignment with where you're at, Virgo. It's like they've medicine dropped you to believe that. What's a good, almost like gaslighting, I think is the term. And then this is your person, Virgo. It's like you realize what's been happening and there's regret there, right? I think a lot of your people, Virgo, are realizing what's going on eventually, right? Like this happened in the past. It's like only now in the present are they starting to be like, I'm just going to show you what the hell. It's like this person's a witch. This person has like some dark voodoo magic going on, right? Like there's some dark energy here and it's a judgment call, right? Judgment brings up things from the past that we thought we had dealt with. Hello, Virgo, that's you, right? I think this person is having regrets because they realize they chose the wrong person. They chose someone who was sneaky and conniving and manipulative. And it did eventually tear this relationship apart. Interesting. All right, so let's hop into your future. Like that. So you have the Four of Wands, Strength, and the Four of Cups. Interesting. All right, give me a second to digest this. I want to give you the right messages here. Well, the good news is the soulmate card is falling under your section. Virgo. So whether it's this person or not, you got good energy coming in, and even if this doesn't represent a soulmate, it might represent a really solid foundation of a relationship. The Four of Wands is the opportunity for growth, but there's four of them, right? That's a nice, safe, solid number. We think of the four corners of a house, right? Sturdy, it's steady, it's solid. So this is either a relationship you're coming into, it could be a best friend or a friendship, but it might be someone new that you meet and you have like that soulmate connection. I mean, it's the 1111, right? The twin flame, soulmate, soul partner, soul tribe, whatever you want to believe. It could be a same-sex relationship, right? It is fire energy, so let's see where this goes. This relationship, though, the person you were waiting on, you waited so long, it kicked the shit out of you. Like, I feel it in this card. It's like you were just felt old and decrepit and wasting away. It's like vultures were picking at your bones. You had waited so long. Like, I'm just getting the image of you serving an offer. Like, please, like, do you want to be my person? Please be my person. Like, holding out your cup of love or whatever. And this person just let it sit there. That sucks. That sucks for you, Virgo, and I'm sorry. I don't think they made a good decision. Well, they clearly didn't make a good decision. They're regretting it. All right, so then under this three-person love triangle, potentially with the mother, might be a third-party lover, we'll see, is strength. Interesting. All right, so this could go a couple different ways, but it's actually, for those who want a reconciliation with this person, it's actually quite positive. And again, I have to read what the cards tell me, so yeah, if it's not your story, I'm sorry, it's not your story, but in this transformation into singlehood, right, because you ultimately didn't stay with this person, you recognize that on some level it felt like they could have been your soulmate but kept you waiting too long, and so you had the self-respect, I think, to walk away and know when to call it quits, realize it's a death, and to move on, to not linger in that death energy. You transformed ultimately, but I think what maybe some of you don't realize is that this was a karmic partner. It was meant to happen. You were meant to go through this transformation so that you could become even more steady and solid and grow as a person. And for some of you, this does have a very twin flame-like energy. I mean, this card alone is beautiful, right? This might represent a realization or a recognition, a new judgment call that you guys are meant to be together on some level, whether that's friendship or romantically. It's either you or your person thinking it, or again, this could be a new person. But here's where I'm going with this. Somebody has this realization. It is falling under your section. And despite all of the, I want to say bullshit, struggles, obstacles that this relationship has gone through, the lack of communication, the keeping someone waiting, the third-party energy, the temptress, the toxic behavior, the just not valuing you, Virgo. Like, straight up, that's what this is. This person didn't recognize your value or worth or treated you like an option. Somebody finds the strength. If it's you, you find the strength to move forward, or really it could be your person. And it's forward movement is what I'm getting at. But it took a lot of, what is the word? Strength of character to move forward to this person who sat waiting. It's like the tables have turned. That's what this is. Initially, you were the one sitting there waiting, right? I said, offering your cup, like, please let me be your person. Please be my person. I love you. I want you to take my cup. This lackluster idea of like, I want love. I want this to be my person, but they're not around. There's no evidence of them in my life, so I can't really say that this is a relationship, let alone a healthy relationship, right? I'm almost getting the tables have turned. It's like you go off and do your thing, and it was not easy. There's a lot of pain here, right? I think you had to do a lot of healing, right? But by severing this and cutting it and not waiting around and like devoting your life to waiting on this person, by choosing to live your life fully and wholeheartedly, going in the other direction, leaving this behind, potentially that person has that judgment, that realization that, oh shit, Virgo was my soulmate and I let them go. This is almost like a memory of what used to be or a dream of what could be. Then there's like, they're charging forward to come get you, to potentially come apologize or make some sort of truth or offer some sort of gesture of acknowledgement. If it's not, hey, I want to be with you. And for a lot of you, it might be. This is the soulmate card. They come to you and you're no longer waiting, but I have to be honest, this feels like your person. It's like your person has a huge moment of eating humble pie because they realize they really screwed up and lost you. I think you're the one who goes after them. It's interesting though, because you knew it all along. I think you always knew this was your person, and that's why you were willing to wait for them for so long. But again, there was something crucial and important about this transformation. It couldn't have happened when you wanted it to, and I don't know exactly why, but this transformation needed to happen. Maybe this person needed to come into their life one final time to really screw them over so that they had this realization of, oh my God, I've been, being manipulated by a puppet master, and now I realize Virgo's my person. So it's up to you, Virgo, if you want to take this person back. But ultimately, I think you both recognize on some level this person was a good match for you. And I think your person knows it too. I think this strength card is representing your strength of being like, you kind of screwed me over. You didn't treat me with value, but I'm going to give you one last chance. That's what this card is speaking to me about the most. And again, it shows strength of character on your part, that you're not holding a grudge, that you're not being spiteful or venomous or manipulative back. It's like you're charging triumphantly on this lion, right? It shows that you have inner peace because you can ride a lion. You know, if you're not internally balanced and at peace with yourself, this lion would snap back and bite you and eat you in one piece. You have made peace with the situation in some level, but I think a lot of you want to give it one more try because you see this person as your soulmate. And so it's like you come in and find your person like crying into their pillow, crying into their cup essentially of, what have I done? I've lost Virgo. You might be dealing with a Cancer. I think you come in and you're like, oh, hey, remember me? Interesting. All right, let's throw some clarifiers on it. Your person has deep regrets and sorrow, even maybe depression. And yeah, if it's not, I keep going back to this. It typically is the soulmate card. It could be a best friend, right? It could be this. Maybe this is all going to resonate of a relationship you just have with your homie, right? With your best friend, with your favorite girlfriend, whatever it is. Yeah, Virgo, I think a lot of you go back to give this another try, to give it the benefit of the doubt. The Two of Wands, yeah. Options of different paths that you could take. And I always notice with this card, which I can actually show to you because there's no nudity on it, there's weapons in the background, right? There's a bow and arrow, there's a gun, which is dark in a sense, but I always take that to mean that because there's two decisions, this comes down to who are you willing to fight for? The idea of metaphorically weapons put in the fight, right? There's a bow here, so I think of Sagittarius like the archer, right? He goes out and hunts for what it is that he wants and desires. He's the traveler, right? And doesn't this card involve traveling? As I said, some of you might be at a very long distance from each other. Virgo, I think a lot of you decide that something about this can't be put to rest, which again is the idea of judgment. Before you close out a cycle, this is the second to last card in the Major Arcana. Before the world, before completion and harmony and utter and total balance is restored, there's something that needs to be re-examined, and it's this. Is this my soulmate? Is this my person? And I'm just getting like, why can't I stop thinking about them? you know, I severed this or whatever, this ended years ago, months ago, whatever it is for you. I can't get them off my mind. And even though it may put me in a position of being very vulnerable, or I'm just getting self-conscious of like, they ended it with me, so why would I go back and ask if they want to be with me again? It's like you swallow your pride and you're like, this person means that much to me that I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to, you know, have some good strength of character again and march forward and have a talk, right? And be like, listen, you went this way, I went that way. Do you ever see our paths colliding again? Like, let's talk about it. And I think this is going to catch your person off guard because they thought this was hopeless. They thought it was dead in the water because they screwed up. He's pouting, right? He's pouting because he fell for the queen's trap. He fell right into it. What else do we need to know about this Four of Cups person for Virgo? Heavy Cancer vibes. What else do we need to know about this Four of Cups for Virgo? Guys, come on. The 10 of Cups and the 10 of Chalices. Or, I'm sorry, that is the same. The 10 of Chalices is the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. So that's the 10 of Cups. We know what the 10 of Cups is. It's the fairy tale ending. Guys, he's going to get his fairy tale ending. He or she. You guys. Potentially, if that's what you want. I think it's going to take you taking action forward. Wands is action, right? You can't just sit on it and wait. Maybe that was the mistake in the first place. There was a lot of waiting, and maybe in order to transform, it required action on both your parts, and nobody really took it. That could have been the biggest downfall of this relationship. Yes, there was manipulation and outside energy, outside parties, but maybe that was where this ship kind of went off course. There was too much inaction of, well, I don't think they want this, and I don't think she wants this, and I don't think he wants this, or whatever, right? It's going to require action. Wands, strength, forward movement, courage. We're at the end of Leo season, right? And we're headed into your season, Virgo. This is like a victory in your, potentially in your birthday month, whenever that is. And then 10 of Pentacles. That's the riches, winning all the riches in life, right? Winning the lottery, metaphorically. Winning the lottery for this person is, I think, you, Virgo. But this person doesn't believe it's possible. I think they blew it. They blew their chances. They blew it. It's up to you. Did they blow it? Are you going to come forward and be like, listen, I still kind of like you, or whatever that's going to be? But 10 of Pentacles is great. It's long-term. It's legacy. It's the seed to the tree. Building a family, building a home, having children, passing down things from generation to generation. There's two really fantastic cards, but there is a little bit of an emotional hurdle to get after. But if your person, if this is resonating, is there by themselves, left kind of unsatisfied, emotionally unfulfilled, saddened, waiting for some miracle to happen to him. And the thing is, I don't like to champion the idea of waiting. There's passive waiting and active waiting, right? You should still be doing stuff to progress yourself and grow as a person, and not just waiting for the universe to drop gifts on your doorstep. But that's sort of the irony of all of this, is you waited so long that I think you're ready to take action despite what it looks like, despite the rules of the game and what you're supposed to do in a relationship, or what isn't appropriate, or this and that. I think you're just, with a clear conscience and a good heart, I think you're coming in saying, hey, can we talk? Wands, right? Can we communicate now? Can we finally communicate? Because strength, this relationship could be very strong. It's falling under the Lovers, the beautiful Lovers. The pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, it's your 10 of Pentacles. It's kind of sexy, right? There's a lot of romance and passion here. I'm just getting that, in a sense, you guys were meant to be together. But yeah, there's something about swallowing your pride. Ego can't be a factor in this, or it's never going to take off. Someone's got to be the bigger person. Someone's got to take action. And I'm not saying you were totally in the right or not at fault. Maybe there was something you did that contributed to some burdens, right? Nobody's perfect, but it's reconciling it anyway if you guys believe that you're destined to be together. I really like this ending. It's very optimistic, but ultimately it lies with you, Virgo. Whatever you choose to do, it's your path. It's your story. That's what I got. Please do like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what resonated, and I will see you Virgos very soon. And if you happen to be watching this a few weeks later, happy birthday. Bye, Virgo.